Hey, what's going on, everyone? This is Todd Cheek coming at you with another episode of Living Your Best Life. And you already know what we do, right? You know what we do. We go out and we find people that are out there in the trenches each and every day that are helping people do just that, live their best life. That's what the show is all about. So today, everybody, we have an awesome guest on. This is the second time on the show, and I had to have him back because something that I spoke with him last week about really resonated with me. Why? Because on Wednesday, everybody, I'm going to be turning the awesome age of 57. 57 years of age. All right. So thankful to be here. I'm so thankful to be alive. I'm so thankful for the blessings that God has given me so already in this 56 years of living. And so, like I said, what he spoke about last week really resonated with me because of what he's doing at his age, which is 61 or 62, one or the other. And so I know you're going to be inspired by the show. And so please take notes and reach out to him because he's actually offering up a really, really cool, what can I call it? What is it that we call it? A little promo, yeah. And where if you get in contact with me, and this guy is a life coach and he's coaching people all over the world. And he's a life coach and he's helping people, of course, like I said, live their best life. But like I said, what he's doing for anyone that wants the 30-minute free consultation with him, he's offering 5 people that come through me for a 30-minute free consultation. So, hey, reach out to me. Let me know. And how does, I think a lot of times we're afraid of change, and we don't want to appear vulnerable in front of people. We don't want to let people know, and I suffer from this too. We don't want people to know that, hey, I need help, okay, and I need some advice. And so it's a hard thing. I don't know if it's a male thing. I don't know if it's just a human thing. I don't know what it is. But like I said, a lot of times we do struggle with becoming vulnerable in those situations. But this guy has a heart of gold, great listener, and just a very overall compassionate person, very loving person. So reach out to him. So like I said, everybody, turning 57 on Wednesday, looking forward to it, and it's a blessing. And so now one of the things that I'm noticing, even as I have been working out most of my life, is that as you reach that awesome age of 50, it's harder to maintain the body. It's harder to maintain the health. Of course, you did as if you were in your 20s. I remember going to Burger King in my 20s, and I would get like 2 Whoppers, and still, get ripped, no problem at all. But of course, try doing that now. Totally different story after even the age of 40. But definitely after the age of 50. So what I want to do also, as you're listening to this, I'm going to provide you a website because my new website also called wellbeyond50.com, wellbeyond50.com. I want you to go out and download this special guide or this free guide that I do have for you guys, especially after the age of 50. Foods that we really, really, really should either drastically reduce or eliminate altogether. These foods are drastic, they're toxic to the body, and we should, like I said, drastically reduce them or just eliminate them altogether. So download that free guide, okay? And I think you will definitely recognize some of the things that you are doing, and you may be like, wow, I didn't realize that, but this is so true. So like I said, download the guide, and so pretty much that's that. Listen, 5 free consultation, 30-minute consultation, 5 people, and you get a 30-minute consultation with life coach Wayne Moody. It's going to be coming up on the show here. And also go to www, I don't even know if we say that, www, that's for people that are 50 years and older, right? So you're going to go to wellbeyond50.com, okay? Wellbeyond50.com. Download the free guide, all right? 50 foods that you should definitely stop eating, okay, after the age of 50. All right, so everybody, listen, let's get on to the show, and I'll see you on the other side. Take care. Bye-bye. Hey, welcome back, everybody, to Living Your Best Life. And like I said in the intro, this young man here, the one to the left or the right of me, however you're seeing this thing. I'm totally always so honored just to be in his presence. I'll be honest with you, because of his knowledge, because of his compassion, and his passion for what he does, Coach. And also, I'm seeing here, Minister of Transformation. That's kind of a new thing that I'm seeing here. Uh, Wayne Moody, is giving us his presence today on the show. My brother, I'm so happy, man, to have you once again. You've been a guest on, but I think the last time we talked, I was so like, I've got to have you back on, just to kind of like, because I want everybody to know your new transformations, your new missions, all of those things. And so I was so like, just so like, wow, I've got to have you back on. So once again, man, welcome. And I just want the audience to kind of like get an idea of who you are and what you do and how you are transforming the world from you.
Well, I always say when people say, where am I from? I am originally from heaven, but I was dropped off in a piece of heaven called Belize.
Mm,
So I was born in Belize. That's where I was dropped off, because the Lord said to Jeremiah, I knew you even before I formed you in your mother's womb.
mm,
So I didn't start with my parents. I came through my parents. My
mm-hmm,
mom had an egg. My dad shot millions of sperms. One of them hit. Boom. I started a winner. One sperm made it, and I was a winner from the get go.
yeah.
And I grew up in Belize. And honestly, at 6, 7, 8 years old, I was teaching. I would take my
Mm-hmm,
money, my allowance, and I would buy candy and teach my brother and friends, and I would grade the papers. So I was teaching from the get go.
mm-hmm, mm-hmm,
Fast forward, I'm 18 years old, and a friend of mine took me to a meeting. And amazingly, his birthday is today.
mm-hmm,
His name is Gordon Solomon, and his birthday is today. And he took me to a meeting. It was March 24th, 1980. I remember it like it was yesterday. And the
mm-hmm,
speaker at the meeting was talking on the topic Up and Change Your World. And the
mm-hmm,
message was simple. He said, the world is in a dilemma like today. He said, the world needs to change like today. And he said, the only way the world could change is if people change. And the only way people can change is if they're connected to the one who changed them. So why don't you put your life in God's hand and become a world changer?
mm-hmm.
March 24th this year is going to be 44, I think it is, because I was
Mm-hmm.
18.
Mm-hmm.
I was 18 years old. So I signed up to be a world changer. And fast forward, I'm living in LA and I'm having a job that I loved. I was working as a program director for a behavior program. And I loved it because I was working with the population that are considered disabled or challenged, the right political word. And I did it for like 10 years. And I remember the year before I left, they gave me a plaque saying, great work. And honestly, if I had been absent 3 times, it was when my dad died, when my roommate's
Mm-hmm.
brother died, and when they one day my car actually had a flat. And my work ethics was, I mean, that's what I learned in Belize. They taught us to
Yeah.
work hard. That's one of the things that I got from my dad. So um, the year after, man, I was just not feeling appreciative.
Yeah.
The executive director was just being so different. The energy had shifted, and I was going to work, Todd, not feeling happy. And I was loving what I was doing, but things had shifted. And my
Mm-hmm.
niece is the one who said to me, she said, Uncle, why don't you just try Uber? Because she
Mm-hmm.
was a nurse. She's a nurse. And when she got back to LA from Florida, she did Uber until she got a job.
Mm-hmm.
So I bought a brand new car. It was the first car I ever brought off the lot. And I
Mm-hmm.
started driving on the weekends. And oh my God, I tasted this thing called freedom of time.
Mm-hmm.
That was the last time I actually had to ask HR for permission for time off.
Yeah. Yeah.
Because the
Yeah.
first level of entrepreneurship was driving Uber. I was contracted, right? So I was
Mm-hmm.
driving Uber. I'm at church one Sunday, and my bishop, Noel Jones, says, there are business in this church that need to be created. Go create them.
Mm-hmm.
So I went up, he prayed for me, and I was praying, and I'm like, God, what can I do that I can monetize? And then the term life coach came up. And I
Mm-hmm.
met my mentor, one of my mentors, that is Mary Morrissey. And you know who Les Brown is, right?
Of course. Yeah. Yeah.
So Les Brown and Mary Morrissey were mentored by the same guy named Jack Boland.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm coming from that kind of energy that Les Brown has, but it was coming from Mary Morrissey. And I did a work with her for 6 months called Quantum Leap.
Hmm.
And it was like going into this system and deleting the mindsets that were not expensive, downloading the right thinking that were expensive, and do a total antivirus of my whole being. And I came up like an iPhone 15.
Yeah.
And that's when I said, I want to teach this thing. I went back and I invested money I didn't have,
Hmm.
because that's what you do as an entrepreneur. And I became a life coach.
Yeah.
And I was driving Uber, and my first client, I want to say, call his name. His name is Dr. Highshaw. I
Hmm.
started working with him in 2019, and he was creating an institute called Ahmad. And if you go and find Ahmad on Instagram, Ahmad is a organization that works in the community in LA. They provide transitional living, mental health services, advocacy. It is an amazing nonprofit today. It is a multi-million-dollar nonprofit today. And when we started working, he had 3 staff, enough funding for 3 staff, and he was a dream builder.
Mm.
Today, as we speak, he calls me Ahmad's life coach. I've coached 2
Mhm.
of his therapists. I've coached his program director. I've coached his HR manager, and even now his current executive director. I'm his life coach.
Mm. Awesome. Awesome. So, one of the things that you mentioned right quick that you spoke about and made me think about this, because transformation to most people, even though I think we love the word, we love to hear like, wow, I can be transformed, whether it's financially, whether it's health wise or mental, emotionally, what have you. We love the idea of being transformed. It takes work, though. I would assume that is correct, right? It takes work. And like you said, yeah.
Well, Romans 12 says, I beseech you, brethren, by the mercies of God, that you present your body a living
Hmm.
sacrifice.
Hmm.
So I must take care of my body.
Hmm.
I must take care of my body, because the body is the house that I'm traveling in. If
Yeah.
I'm not healthy, if I'm not healthy mentally, physically, spiritually, emotionally, I'm going to be sick. If
Yeah.
I'm sick, I can't be. I mean, honestly, I might want to feel good, but then I'm sick.
Yeah.
I won't. So my health is important, but even more so, it says, "Be present your body as a living sacrifice, and be not conformed to this world." But he says, "Be transformed,
Mm.
transformed by the
Hmm.
renewing of your mind." And I was telling someone this morning, um, change your thinking. The term change your thinking is the same as the word repent.
Hmm. Hmm. Yeah. Yeah.
Repent, change your thinking. And that's what it is. People need to repent. People
Hmm.
need to
Hmm.
change the way they're thinking, because
Yeah.
my thinking is the thing that has me where I'm at today.
Yeah. Yeah.
And my thinking is going to cause me either to be toxic or to be whole.
Right.
So this work of transformation begins with my thinking. And one of the fundamental teachings that I've learned and I practice is the fact that every single thing begins with a thought.
Hmm.
Everything begins with a thought. And the thought, we put the energy in that thought, and then that thought is manifested to become what it is. So transformation is, I mean, in a nutshell, transformation is honestly acknowledging where you are, taking full responsibility for where you are, envisioning where you'd love to be, and do the work to make it happen. Because there are wishful thinkers who would say, man, I want to be a healthy person. I want to have a healthy body. I want to be in shape. But saying it won't make it.
Yeah.
What am
Yeah.
I doing? Am I eating? Am I thinking? Am I resting? Am I doing what it takes to get the body that I desire? Because wishful thinking is like if you have a genie, you rub the bottle and it happens. Poof.
Yeah.
That's not how you get healthy.
Yeah. Yeah.
How you get healthy, you got to eat right, exercise, think right, rest.
Yeah.
Then you're going
Yeah.
to get the body that you envision. So dream building is truly acknowledge where I'm at, because I'm not like a tree planted, can't go nowhere. If I
Hmm.
don't like where I'm at, I can do something about it. But it starts with me acknowledging where I'm at, taking responsibility for where I'm at, and then deciding to do what it takes. And in order to do, I have to first think.
Yeah.
Where
Yeah.
was the last time you took a trip? Where did you go the last time you made a trip?
I think it's probably Tampa, Florida.
Okay, that trip was conceived where?
Well, I mean,
In your mind.
Yeah, I thought about it. You had to, map
That
things out
that
and all
that
that
that's where
stuff. Yeah.
you thought about it. So everything is created twice. You think about it
Hmm.
and then you established it, and that's how God works.
Yeah.
Alpha, Omega, beginning and the ending. God
Yeah.
starts with the end,
Yeah. Yeah. And
and
in
I
mind.
started with the end. And this is why transformation through transformation is first acknowledging where I'm at and being realizing that, man, like I had that job, I wasn't feeling happy being there. I was
Hmm.
grateful that I had a job, but I wasn't contented.
Yeah.
And tell you, stepping out and starting a business, I was scared. I had to invest money I didn't have.
Yeah.
But you know what? As I look back now, the money that I invested, they call it OPM, other people's money.
Hmm.
The
Hmm.
money that I invested, I'm paying that back now. Once that is finished, it's going to be profit.
Yeah. Yeah.
And what I started then and where I'm at now, I'm becoming more marketable. I'm literally coaching people from Hawaii to Atlanta, from New England, all the way down to Alabama, all the way to Belize.
Yeah.
I have
Yeah.
clients. I've coached over 100 clients in the last 4 going on to 5 years. And I tell
Wow.
you what, when I started, I wasn't sure of what I was doing, but I knew I wasn't happy where I was. And I
Yeah.
envisioned where I'd love to be. And my dream was to coach the nation of Belize. It's happening as we're
Okay.
speaking. As we're speaking today, I am coaching the nation of Belize because I'm coaching people in Belize.
Yeah. And I think, you have to have, a big why, a huge why. And,
That's why I get up in
that's
the
one
mornings.
thing. Yeah. Well, and that's one of the things that caught my attention, when we first kind of, connected, because your why was really huge. I've never heard anyone, honestly, I've heard whys. I have my own why of why I do what I'm doing. But when your why is to coach a country, that's a big vision. And but they always say, dream big, you know, um, because
Let
you
me
yeah.
extend it some more. I was at a mission conference, right?
Hmm.
This is after I gave my life to Christ. I was at a mission conference, and the speaker was speaking on the topic, ask of me, and I will give you the nations, right?
Hmm.
And at the end, the altar call was ask God for your family, ask God for your neighborhood, ask God for your city, ask God for your country, ask God for nations. And you know what I asked God for? I said, God, give me Belize and give me India.
Hmm.
My inheritance is Belize and India. Belize is just Jerusalem.
Hmm.
I'm looking at impacting the nation of India.
Yeah. Yeah.
I'm going to
And
do it.
oh, I know you are. I know you are. It's funny. So it's everyone is. It's really interesting. If I want you to connect with Mr. Moody on Facebook, and we'll get all of his information to you. But one of the things that I'm always amazed is that he's in New York now, and you'll see him jet setting all over in the United States, and he never sits still in one place too long, So if it's not New York, today it's
I,
going
I
to,
did I did something when I was 60 years old, right?
yeah.
When I was 60, living in Houston, I left Houston on July 3rd, right?
Hmm.
I stopped in Atlanta. I went to Florida. I went to New York. I went to Massachusetts and Maine. I went to Chicago. I went to DC. And then I went back home.
Yeah.
I was
Yeah.
traveling for 2 months and a week. Now, I cannot be compared to the Apostle Paul. The Apostle Paul was on missionary journeys, traveling on boat for and for months, and he was taking the kingdom to all these places, right?
Hmm.
Now, Jesus said, "The work that I do shall you do, and greater works than these."
Hmm. Hmm.
So I'm doing greater works than what Jesus did because that's what Jesus said is going to happen. He said, "You shall be witnesses of me in Jerusalem, starting at home, right?
Hmm.
Judea, Samaria, and the ends of the earth."
Yeah.
A part of my daily gratitude that I practice, I write because a part of my daily practice is writing my gratitude. And this morning, I literally wrote what I'm grateful for. And I said, I'm grateful from New England to Alabama, from Hawaii to Atlanta. I'm also happy and grateful for Belize, India, Australia, Argentina, Haiti. And I named the countries that I'm happy and grateful for because those are places I will visit.
Yeah.
And after I traveled that thing in 2 years ago, I was 60. There are two things that I became aware of. One, if I'm going to be that kind of traveler, I got to be in the best shape of my life.
Hmm.
I'm not sure what time zone have you traveled the path, but I remember going to Japan years ago, and man, I lost a day.
Hmm. Yeah. Yeah.
And when you travel, if you're not in the best shape of your life, you're going to have recovery time. I want to be in such shape as I go ahead as I'm reaching 65 that I can travel and I don't have to recover, because the more shape you're in, the best you can perform when you get somewhere else, because then
Yeah.
your body is able to deal with the whole move and transition. So
Yeah.
I realized that I need to have the best shape of my life. The second thing I realized is that America is not the world.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
And there are places I've lived here, believe it or not, I've lived here over 20 years, and that's 1/3 of my life.
Hmm.
My last quarter may be known to everyone. My last quarter is Belize.
Gotcha. Gotcha.
Belize is
Gotcha.
going to be the place where it's going to be my last quarter. That is if it's last, because I say I want to be here until like I'm 120 years old.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
And I'm
Well, like
doing
I
what it
said,
takes.
well, like I said, I totally respect, and always have respected your, as the young kids say, your grind, and but I mean, you're doing some wonderful things. And I was speaking with a young lady this morning, and she has a fitness class, and she asked, since today is Valentine's Day, happy Valentine's Day, everyone. She asked everyone in her class, um, who do you love? And everyone yelled out someone else. Who they didn't say was themselves. And your perspective, I would like to kind of hear, what your thoughts are with regards to that, because I don't feel a lot of us are um, equipped
Hey,
or
love is patient. Love is kind. Love does not keep a record of wrong. Love is not self-seeking, right?
Mhm.
The greatest command is love the Lord thy God with all thy heart, with all thy soul, with all thy mind. The second is love thy neighbor as who?
Thyself.
I gotta love me. I gotta love me some Wayne Moody, and I love me some Wayne Moody, because I can't love you if I don't love me.
Yeah,
I'm
yeah.
patient. It says love is patient, so I'm patient with me. I'm kind, so I'm kind with me. I don't keep a record of wrong because I'm forgiven. There is no condemnation. I'm living a guilt-free, shame-free, condemnation-free life. I'm not condemned. Jesus
Hmm.
said it's finished. I'm
Yeah.
forgiven. So my daily practice is first forgive myself.
Hmm.
And this morning I shared something on social media because God has been in my past. God is in my present. God is in my future, waiting for me to get there to say, well done.
Yeah.
And at the end of every day, I can hear, well done. Not perfect.
Hmm.
Well done. Do I miss the mark? I miss the mark every day. So
Hmm.
I got to make sure that I'm doing forgiveness work with me every day. And
Mm.
if I don't forgive myself, how can I forgive you? And I got to make sure that I let go anything from the past that has held me, because forgiveness is a major practice that is a part of my spiritual life. I got to
Right.
forgive me. And then I have to forgive those that have offended me. And then I have to ask forgiveness from those that have offended, because in my humanity, that this body left to itself would pig out, flesh out, sex out, everything out. But
Hmm.
I got to make sure my spirit is ruling my body. David says, bless the Lord, O my soul. And he speaks to his soul. And God says, present your body as a sacrifice. So I got to take care of my body.
Hmm.
So my health has to be amazing,
Yeah.
mental, physical, spiritual, and it is work. It doesn't come easy. That's why we get a personal trainer. Why I am a life coach is because I'm dealing with who you are as a whole. And as I've worked with you, you realize that you remember when we started working that first week, I said, man, Todd, the guy after 12 weeks is not going to be the same guy.
Yeah. Yeah.
Was that true?
It was definitely true. Yeah.
And if you're out there listening and watching this, I would love to be the person that helps you to go from where you are to where you'd envision to be because I'm living it.
Yeah. Yeah. And and that's and when you speak about forgiveness, because I think that's something that is overlooked very easily, either consciously or unconsciously, for most people. Um, what do you feel when you are forgiving yourself? Is there a feeling that you get when you do forgive yourself?
Well, I wake up this morning to today, right?
Yeah.
And I start my day yesterday. I know what today was supposed to be. One of my mentors, again, Jim Rohn says, don't start your day until you finish your day. What it means, I start my day knowing what it's going to be yesterday. I knew I was going to
Hmm.
see you. I knew I had a client this morning in DC. I knew I had a client in Bermuda and DC. I knew I had a client in Belize. I have all that I know I'm going to do today, right? By the time that they finish, was it a perfect day? No. So I
Hmm.
got to say, Wayne, you did a great job. And as I listen, I can hear God says, well done, son.
Hmm.
And therefore, I
Hmm.
forgive myself for missing where I missed the mark. So I'm
Mm.
not bringing that tomorrow because the scripture says the steadfast love of the Lord never ceases. His mercies come never, I mean, they never come to an end. They are new every morning. So when I started this morning, I had a blank slate clean.
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
forgave myself. And where I have offended others, I got to keep a tab because unless I deal with the offense, it's going to lead to bitterness and animosity. So forgiveness is a constant work. And then for where I have been the perpetrator, I got to make sure I'm dealing with stuff because if I don't, if I'm causing offense to someone, I got to make sure that I ask their forgiveness because forgiveness is not just forgiving myself, but it's actually asking others for forgiveness as well as forgiving others. And
Yeah.
forgiveness is a practice. It's a mental, it's emotional, and it's a spiritual practice. But if I'm not forgiven, if I'm condemned, if I'm walking around condemned, then I'll be condemning you.
Yeah. Yeah. Exactly. Exactly. You know, there was ever a time, when you were going through, when you started in this transformation, this is probably like after you left the job and you started to explore the life coaching potential here. Was there ever a time when you had second thoughts where you said, maybe.
Well, it happened. It happened because one of the things that happened is life.
Hmm.
And
Hmm.
when life happens, it knocks the wind out of you.
Yeah.
And I remember one experience I had. I had a I had relocated to Hawaii, right?
Hmm.
I was working with a client. And then the energy shifted and I had to get out of Hawaii.
Hmm.
And it was not something that was amicable. I left feeling frustrated, feeling angry, feeling disappointed. And what was a part of my saving grace was my mastermind group.
Mm.
Because one of the things that I created, and this is a part of what I teach, because Napoleon Hill, who wrote Think and Grow Rich, right?
Yeah.
Napoleon Hill said that successful people have a mastermind group, and the mastermind group support each other to see your dreams being accelerated. My mastermind, there were four brothers, because when I did the work, I created a mastermind for my dream. David
Hmm.
Dolphin, David Hunter, Earl Wooten, and Gregory Russell. Those four brothers, they circled me when I came back from Hawaii, and they reminded me of where I said I was going. And they said, we're here for you, we're supporting you, we believe in you, and we believe in what you're believing in. But I didn't feel at that point, I didn't feel
Hmm.
because I felt, and the thing is, as you're advancing in the dream, things happen that might be causing you to feel disappointed. But I had to keep my mind on the prize, the goal. And I remember Greg, one of my mastermind partners, we were praying one morning when I came back to Houston, and he said to me, Wayne, do you realize that you're closer to Belize now than ever?
Mm.
I'm going back to Belize next year, Todd.
Yeah.
I'm going back to Belize, and it is going to be amazing. And I'm closer to home than when I was in Hawaii.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
I have moments when, and you know, there's so many stories that I can tell you, because being an entrepreneur doesn't mean that it's all fine and dandy, because I've had to be living in the past, coming up to where I'm at today. I literally have to be waiting sometimes for clients to say make deposits in order to pay my rent.
Yeah. Yeah.
I've had to be dealing with where the personal account and the business account has gone to negative, and I
Yeah.
got bills coming in. How do I
Yeah.
feel? But I
Yeah.
realized there's one source, God. There are
Yeah.
many resources from where
Yeah.
God uses, but I trust God. I mean, I was getting ready to move in an apartment last year before June, and I didn't have the deposit.
I remember this.
And a friend of mine called and said, "Man, I'm dealing with some issues. I need some help." And I said, "Okay." And I gave him.
hmm
I'm getting ready for my rent. You know, I'm getting ready to move in. I don't have it in the bank. I give to him, and the Sunday I go to church, and I had a tithe of $575.
hmm
You know what that means, right? It means that monies came into the total of over $5,000. I
Yeah.
made my down payment. I paid my rent. So this journey as an entrepreneur hasn't been easy.
Yeah. Yeah.
I have clients who decide to say, "Man, I'm sending you some money right now," and it was for lunch.
Yeah.
I have clients who have paid more than they should pay. One of my clients, former NFL player, he said me check. He said, "Coach, check and see my payments, please." And when I checked the payments, he had sent $500 more than what it was supposed to be. And I said, "Oh, you sent $500 more." He said, "Coach, you deserve it."
hmm
I have clients today who I trust, and my business is different from the average business, because people would say I wouldn't be coaching nobody if they don't have money to pay me.
Yeah. Yeah.
But that's not the way I think. I
Yeah.
coach and I teach not to be paid, but because I teach and I'm coaching, I'm being paid. And I have clients who I would literally say, "You know what, just let's do the program."
Yeah. Yeah.
It's not for the money. You know,
Yeah.
I can envision more money is going to be coming, and I can have more money, and I can envision have millions of dollars, but all I'm the conduit.
Yeah.
Through I can give more, I can be more, and this is the journey, and I would not trade it for nothing.
Ain't the truth.
I would not
Ain't the
trade it for nothing.
Yeah.
And I mean, I know where I'm at is not my destination.
Yeah. Yeah.
It's a part of the journey, and the
Yeah.
process is the key.
Yeah.
But how many of us are willing to pay the price for your dream? When people say I can't afford it, who told you you can't afford it?
Yeah. Well, I heard it said before, it's that's the difference between the wealthy and, the not wealthy minded person, for lack of a better expression there. Um, because the wealthy would ask, how can I afford it? Or what can I do to afford it versus I can't, So, and that's the difference.
It's
And,
a
and
mindset.
yeah, it's a
It's a
mindset.
mindset.
It's a
It's a
mindset.
mindset.
It's a
And
mindset.
and the laws work. If I
Yeah.
give, whether I
Yeah.
believe in God or I don't believe in God, if I give, it's gonna come back to
Yeah.
me.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
this is
Yeah.
why wealthy people seem to be getting more wealthy, because they continue to give.
Yeah.
They continue to give. And the poverty mentality is that you have a little bit and you're like, "I can't give nobody this. This is just for me."
Yeah.
Jesus said the woman that had the mite, she gave.
Yeah.
She gave more than anybody else. So even if you have a lot and your giving is not as great as even that lady who had a little bit and gave what she had.
Yeah. Yeah.
And
But
many people remain in poverty because they're holding on and they feel like they can't give nobody anything. But really, the law of circulation is that if you give, it's going to come back to you. Not from the
yeah.
person necessarily that you gave to, but the source is going to be reciprocating for you. You're going to be blessed, and you're going to be blessed, and you're going to be blessed.
Right. Right. And so that's like I said, I wanted everyone to really kind of hear that because like I was saying earlier, transformation is not an overnight thing. As I work with people, the diet industry or the weight loss industry, whichever one, there's so many quick fixes out there. And then, but are you healthier? Yes, you can lose weight, but are you healthy? Are you well? Let's go with that. Are you well? And that's where I want people to move more towards, is being well. If you're well, the body tends to follow.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Because now we're talking about a mindset. And so you can be fit, but still not
Mm-hmm.
well.
I meet
And
some people, they have nice bodies, but their thinking is garbage.
yeah, 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 yeah,
Beautiful bodies,
yeah,
Adonis. But
yeah,
man, and I say when you meet someone, you meet the house, which is the body, right?
yeah.
But when you start talking and conversing, you realize who lives in that house. Ooh, I don't want to be near that house. Get me out of here.
Right, 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 right. And so that's the difference, like I said, that I've discovered in my time. And so one of the things that I've been working on, Doc, is my new campaign, which is well beyond 50. And I don't know if you can tell, but there's a little bit of gray here. There's a little bit of gray here. And there's a little bit of gray on my friend here,
62,
And
62,
and so
62,
we
and all the
might
gray.
so yes, we are well, keyword, well beyond 50. And I say that because we have uh studied a process of life and have surrendered uh, to uh, to life and God and said, okay, I'm yours and I'm your tool and just guide me. And so one of the things that I'm doing is I'm really reaching out to the individuals in that space, in that 50-year-old space, because a lot of times when you get to that 50-year-old spot, you tend to kind of like think that life is pretty much, well, it's pretty much kind of over. You throw in the towel, you throw away your dreams. Your health is just going to be just a condition of life itself. And so,
Can I say something right here quickly?
yes, yes, because I want to get to that. You
I
see,
am in New York, right?
right.
I have a client that is retired special ed, cancer survivor. She's doing a fashion show this weekend in New York, creating all the
Hmm.
pieces. She's
Hmm.
a dream builder.
Yeah.
She's not going to just roll over and die. And she is doing the thing.
Well, I
And I
tell you,
get
it's
to
one.
be her. I get to be her life, and I get to be here. And I was telling her this morning, I said, I'm sure you can create a piece for me and let me walk the runway.
Would that be your first time walking a runway?
No, no, but when I was again, this is when I was driving Uber. I remember I had given someone a ride in LA, and the guy said to me, he said, "Man, you have a look. Why don't you put your image out there as a print model?" I'm like
Hmm.
5'7", 8. So
Hmm.
I did a photo shoot, and I had a friend of mine in North Carolina, and he said, "I'm going to be your agent." So when he finished doing the photo shoot in Myrtle Beach, he said, "You have to have a name.
Hmm.
So you got to get on Instagram." I said, "Okay." So I went on Instagram and I created my page, and my page on Instagram is Wayna's Supermodel. Waynaz Supermodel. And if you go there, you can find me. Wayna's Supermodel. And he said to me, he said, "Man, all that it takes is for one person to get your image, and they might just want you for a campaign." So who knows? I'm in New York,
You
going the
never
one
know.
way.
You
Somebody
never
see
know.
my picture, but I can say, is that my passion?
Yeah,
No,
yeah,
I don't. I can't see myself traveling in the world for photo shoots. No, I can see myself traveling the world for something different,
yeah,
motivating.
yeah,
And what you see in this image, people say, "Man, you take some good pictures. The camera does well with you." I love what I see. But what is more
yeah,
greater than what you see is who I am, who I be.
yeah, 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 yeah. Well, and so like I was saying, the thing is that we tend to throw the towel in once we reach throw the towel in on life when we reach a certain age in life. You didn't do that. So everyone, I'm pretty sure right now that's listening, we know that you're a life coach. but this is something that you started after you were 50 years old. And that's what I was really impressed with last week when we talked. And this is, like I said, why I had to have you back on, because I want you to, share with us that life isn't over at the
Oh
age of,
no, oh
right?
no. Hey, listen, I'm going back to Belize next year, right?
Right.
Every year since I started in 2019, 2020, every year I've had a virtual summit.
Hmm.
I already told all my clients 2024 is the last virtual summit. I am already literally preparing in Belize a summit in 2025 where all my clients are coming to Belize.
Hmm. Mm. Yeah.
And I go back to Belize. One of my mentees, who's like a son of mine, last when I got back from Florida this past year, he said to me, "Pops, my fraternity is going to Ghana at the end of December 2025. You want to go?" I said, "Okay, I'm going to go to Ghana at the end of next year."
Hmm.
And it's going to be Ghana, it's going to be Nigeria, it's going to be Australia, it's going to be India, it's going to be. I have traveled as much as I would want to travel in America. There is no
Yeah.
place that I mean, I've traveled more than the average person in America, from Hawaii to Atlanta, from New Hampshire to Alabama. I've traveled all over America.
Yeah.
So when I leave, I mean, I'm done in the sense that I don't need to come back and take, and where else do I need to go and make this word?
Yeah.
I told
Yeah.
all my
Yeah.
clients after 2025, you come to me in Belize.
Yeah. 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 Well, like I said, I was just impressed, man, and congratulations, because like I said, most people would have thrown the towel in,
Mm-mm.
earlier. But at 57, you started, life coaching.
I'm not 85 yet. 85,
Yeah.
Caleb said, give me this mountain. I've got a ways to go. My dad lived until he was in 80s,
Yeah. Yeah.
full head of hair.
Yeah.
And my dad is looking down on me, and my mom are looking down on me right now, and they're proud of me.
Yeah. I know they are. I know they are. I know they are.
And I am
And
proud that I had them from my parents because I came through my mom.
yeah.
My dad is my hero. If you ask me who my hero is, it's not Superman. It's not
Yeah.
none of those people. My hero is my father. His name,
Yeah.
and I call his name Albert Herbert Moody. And I
Yeah.
will, as long as I have breath. On my phone, my screensaver for my phone is a picture of my dad shaking my hands.
Okay. You have any pictures of your dad on your Facebook page? I'd love to see that, man.
Oh yeah, yeah, yeah. I will
Okay.
send you
Okay.
some pictures, and you can actually
Yeah.
pop in some
And your
pictures.
mom
But
too. Yeah. And your mom.
my well, honestly, I kid you not, we don't have a picture of my mother.
Okay. Gotcha. Gotcha.
And
Gotcha.
there was a story with my mom because I was 14 and my mom's life was snuffed out with a
Mm.
police officer.
Wow. Yeah.
And I was 14, and at 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, I was living with rage and hate, having every plan to have revenge. And
Mm.
then I met Jesus, and then my perception changed. And a couple of years after, he was found with a bullet in his head, and all I felt was compassion.
Wow. Wow.
My youngest brother never saw my mom. He was like 2 years old.
Hmm.
And my youngest brother today, he is the chief civil engineer in the country of Belize.
That's amazing. That's
He's my
amazing.
greatest protege.
But I
He's
tell
the dream
you,
builder.
the country of Belize is waiting for you to show up, and I know when you do, it's going to be totally ready for you. And I'm
Yes.
looking forward to visiting, and in 2025 coming down there for the wife and I.
Yes.
You know,
Yes.
I
Yes.
look forward to
Yes.
that. Everybody, listen, I need you to get in contact with this gentleman, Wayne Moody, for life coaching. I'm one of his clients, and his compassion, like I said early in the beginning, you will you will definitely benefit
And
so
and you
much
know
from
what, Todd?
coaching. Yeah.
I want you to give 5 people in your community. They got to reach out to you.
Okay.
5 people in your community. I would love to do a one-on-one session with them for free. No
Okay.
charge. They
Okay.
get in touch with you, you connect them with me, and I will do a strategy session with them. No invoice. It's just gonna be on me. Your
Gotcha.
gift to them through me.
Awesome. Awesome. I appreciate that. I totally appreciate that. And uh, what are you doing for the rest of the day, man? You got clients the rest of the day, or
I'm here supporting my client. I'm actually I wanted to go see the
what
new
time is the
Bob
show
Marley
tonight?
movie. No, the show is Friday,
It's Friday. Okay, gotcha.
but there's a lot of stuff to do between now and then, and I'm getting the word out on social media for her in New York here, and but I'm
Yeah,
just getting ready for and then at the end of this week when the show is finished, I have a couple of days before I leave, and then I go to Atlanta. I'm
gotcha.
here because I just came from DC,
Yeah.
and then I'm going to Atlanta next week, and again showing up and showing out and serving my clients.
There we go. I had a person on the show a couple weeks ago who is a cancer survivor,
Mm.
and he lives in New York City
I
also.
have several. I have several. One of my clients last year, we started working, and he was doing his process. And this past year, Christmas, I spent Christmas with him,
Mm.
cancer free.
Oh wow, yeah, yeah,
I have
yeah,
another one in Florida. He also is a cancer survivor, cancer free, because your dream involves your health, your
yeah,
relationship, your time and money, and your vocation. And whatever the
yeah.
dream is, you want to say your health to be what the dream come true is.
Well, I
What would you
tell you,
love to be doing? You know?
and I think that's the important part, what you're doing and who you're being while you're doing it. And because the young lady that I was speaking with, totally awesome. And I'm just so proud of her because she has lived such just a life of ups and downs. And it was a
Mm.
hard life. But to listen to her story and to listen to her today is just, a transformation. And
Yep.
so, I'm definitely proud of your client, for uh,
Cancer survivor,
overcoming. Yeah,
retired,
yeah,
and creating these pieces that people are going to walk the runway with.
yeah. Awesome,
And she's
awesome.
going
I
to
look
take
forward.
this show. She's going to take this show to Belize because she's a Belizean.
Oh, yeah, yeah, yeah,
You are going
yeah.
to meet her. You're going to meet her at the summit. She will be at the summit too.
Well, great. I'm going to definitely check her out, before we get to Belize. And but thank you, man, for hanging out for a few minutes today.
Hey man,
Wanted to
I
capture
am
what you up
I'm
to.
I'm here for you. I'm here for you, and I'm always a message or just a text away.
Yeah, yeah. And I know that you guys are, dealing with some snowy weather up in that way, and
Yes.
it is what it is. It's winter time. It should be, So it's not out of the norm and everything. But take care of yourself,
I
while you're
will.
there. And like I said, thank you so much. I wanted, like I said, everybody just to get another dose of you and what you were doing. And I want everybody to be
See?
inspired by you because especially like I was saying, World Beyond 50, because it's not over.
Oh
It's
no.
not,
Oh no. Oh no.
it's not over. So
Oh no.
dream,
Yes.
dream
Yes.
big, so let it go and join us. We're
Yes.
dream makers here. And
Yes. Yes.
so like I said, join us. We're part of a tribe that's growing
Yes.
and
Yes.
just formulating another way that we can make it through this world. So once again, any last thoughts, my man?
Oh man, I just want to say that as long as we have breath,
Yeah,
as long as we have breath, we have life, and therefore we should be fulfilling our purpose. Because, and I say this, every day is a good day because God makes the day. This is the day the
hmm
Lord has made. So the day is a good day. But God makes the day, and then he said, Todd, Wayne, manage it.
mm,
And at the end of the day, I want to hear, well done. And that's
yeah,
why I got to do the forgiveness work because at the end of the day, I might not have completed everything or done everything that I was supposed to do, but then I can still say I've had a well done day.
yeah.
And if it's one thing I did, I can be happy and grateful for that one thing that I did today.
hmm
And it's one thing that is less than what I had before because if Mount Everest is the destination, baby steps can get you there with consistency.
Yeah, yeah. There we have it, everybody. Awesome. Words from a man of wisdom. Thank you so much, Mr.
Oh, I
Wayne,
appreciate you, Todd. I
Minister of
appreciate you.
Transformation, for
Yes.
joining us. Yes, 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 yes. like I said, thank you so much. And so, everybody, listen, like I said, get in contact with him, get in contact with me with that 30-minute strategy session just to sit
Yes,
down and kind
yes,
of like grab some of
yes,
his wisdom. Let's
yes,
do this, man, because this is all about living your best life. And
yes.
there's no getting around that, getting around the fact that, the world is kind of crazy right about now. We have people just constantly going at each other, if not in this country, if not,
Mhm.
in the world, what
Yes,
have you,
yes,
definitely in this
yes,
country. And so we want to show you that you do have options. You have options when it comes to your
yes,
health.
yes,
You have options when it comes to your job, your career,
yes, yes,
these
yes,
options.
yes,
So once again, everybody, take advantage, live your life, but definitely live your best life. And like Wayne Moody said, it's not about being perfect, it's just, well done, you know, let's just get to a well done. you
yes,
know?
yes. Well done.
Let's get to a well done. So everybody, listen, thank you so much for hanging out on another episode of Living Your Best Life. And I'll see you next time. You guys take care and have an awesome week. Be good. Bye-bye.